Today we're going to talk about, should you cut down or should you quit? Now, this question I get asked all the time of my clients, okay, and of family members and just general people when they find out what it is that I do. So I thought I would get down cozy and comfy with you and talk to you about my experience with this, because I can see it's so important to so many of my ideal clients. So tonight what I've done is I've prepared some slides that I'm going to share with you about this very subject. So if you bear with me, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm Claire Louise Owen. I'm the Soberholic, and my program is called Sober Goals. Now the question is, do I cut down or do I quit? So I need your attention when we're going to go over this, and I've got a super practical tool that's going to help you if you get to the end of. So you need to give me your attention. You need to switch off your phone, or if you're on your phone, switch off your other notifications so you can really concentrate and you can give me your attention. I know your time is precious, so I'm going to crack on. Okay, so why should you listen to me? Why should you listen to me? Well, this was me in January 2018. I was overweight, I was overwhelmed, I was binge drinking, and I had aches and pains, and I just felt down all of the time. Nothing interested me except for wine. And I was just exhausted. I knew it was time to change, and I knew it was time to cut down. At this stage, I never considered quitting. I just would never have entertained the idea of quitting. I couldn't have imagined life without it. So what I did was I created all these rules for myself. Out came the book of rules. So I'd have all these rules: don't drink through the week, no drinking more than whatever the rule was that particular day, no drinking on 2 days in a row, don't drink before 6, don't drink on an empty stomach, don't drink spirits, don't drink red wine, don't drink through the day, don't drink during my period. And the list just went on and on and on, okay? But life would get in the way, and every time this would happen. I had good intentions, I had my book of rules, but this just kept happening. And I would find myself sat like that, just on a cycle of drink, regret, and repeat. And my other half, he was sat like that because, to be honest, when you're in this situation, you're not just in it on your own. You know, you're in it with the rest of your family, whoever's around you, because you feel so miserable, they feel miserable too, right? Would you agree? I just wanted this life, minus the beard. Okay, my husband doesn't have a beard, but I wanted this life, you know, I knew I deserved that. I wanted to be outdoors. I wanted us to feel connected as a couple. Instead, we just felt like this. I wanted to be this mum, not this mum. Can you relate to what I'm saying? Is this making sense for you? But the rules don't work. The rules go out the window. There's no point in making these rules that would just break. All we do is we end up feeling like a failure. We feel resentful. The self-loathing is just crippling. We're just more concerned because then we start wondering, have we really got a problem here? You know, what about that word alcoholic? Am I an alcoholic? Should I be more concerned than I am already? The strain on my relationship, and this can sometimes lead to secret drinking. And the loneliness and isolation and the shame and regret that come with that must be, you know, it's crippling for women. But I want you to know that this is not your fault. This isn't your fault. And you're not alone. You're not the only one who feels like that. Instead of asking you, should you cut down or should you quit? I want to ask you, what do you believe? What do you believe alcohol brings to the table for you? Do you believe it's a magic elixir, a solution to all your woes? Do you believe that it makes you happy? Do you believe it helps you when you're sad? Do you believe you need it to celebrate? I get it, it's ingrained in every area of your life. It was for me as well for years. I want you to journal and figure out how many years have you been using alcohol and for what different reasons? And how long have you been trying to cut down? How long has this been a problem for you? And I want to talk about the pathway to the beach again, because this is something I've learned and it's stuck with me, and I get it. I've passed this on to my kids and it makes perfect sense to me. So if you can think about, there was a time when you were upset, or you were in a situation where you took alcohol and you felt better. It made you feel better, and you created a pathway in your brain. Your brain connected the two events. So something bad happened, drink, then you felt better. And so that's the pathway in your brain. The brain is the laziest muscle in the body, right? So it takes the path of least resistance. So it would take this pathway to the beach. But I'm asking you to take a different pathway to the beach. I'm asking you to start a new pathway. And it's not impossible. You know, you could walk over there, right? But it's just going to be a little bit not sure on your footing, and you might have to go up and then go down before you actually get to your destination. But it is possible. And you just need to know that the beach is there and that you can get there. And I need you to let go of any expectations. Forget about worrying if you want to cut down and considering whether you should quit for a month, should you quit for good. Forget about all of that for now, right? What I want you to do, imagine it's like Slimming World. You set the goal and you decide, but I'm even asking you to take a step before that. I just want you to get involved and start looking and imagining this for yourself. Because what sober looks like for me might look different for you. So we'll have to visualize it before we can make it happen. And like Slimming World, if you eat a cake, it's not the end of the world, right? It's not a pass or fail. You know, I need you to let go of this thing about being good and being bad, or I've been naughty. It's just not helpful at all. The secret that I want to share with you, that many women who've cracked this know, is that the key to this is not willpower or shaming themselves into action. We need a carrot, not a stick, right? So I'm going to repeat that. The secret I want to share with you is that many women who have cracked this know that the key to this is not willpower. Willpower is a muscle and it gets tired. So if you've been busy all day and something's irritating you, that muscle gets really weak. Think of it like thin ice. So you're on thin ice. And if somebody asks you, do you want a drink, or do you want, that's when you fall, because you're using willpower. And the other thing is not to shame yourself into action. This isn't a shame game. Please don't get into that. You need to talk to yourself with, with compassion. And the other secret that people who have cracked this know, they've uncovered the truth about alcohol. Okay, they haven't just believed what they've always believed. They've dug deeper. They've gone under the surface of what they thought they believed about alcohol. And they've been open to the idea that they've been brainwashed to believe that they need it. And brainwashed to believe that this is hard, because it doesn't have to be. If you do it this way, it doesn't have to be hard. Now, secret number 3 from people who have successfully managed the sober life. What they do is they found out why they drink. They ask themselves, does it help me? And they journal about that. How does it actually make you feel? And I want you to consider, do you deserve that? Do you really deserve to feel like that? Because if you say that you deserve it when you're having the up, then you're telling yourself you deserve it when you're having the down, right? Does that make sense? And the other thing that I love to do with my clients is I want them to look at every area of your life and to consider how this would impact each area. in a positive way, and how it would make your future look different if this positive impact was on all areas of your life, but all at the same time. Because what I found is, in the past, I could put all my effort into my work, right, and everything else goes to down the pan, or you put all your effort in having fun activities and everything else goes down the pan. But somehow with sober living and being able to have the clarity and the fog lifted, you have the ability to plan and prioritize, and you have the ability to know what you want, and where you want to spend your time and energy, because you learn how to say no, you learn how to set boundaries. And it's just, I'm putting it all on not drinking, but I think not drinking is the first step, isn't it? It's the first domino. And this leads me nicely to this next slide, because if you consider the list of things you're worried about, we all have a list, right? And these might move around from time to time, but we're all always concerned about something. But I'm going to just ask you to consider for a moment, if you will, by putting drinking at the top of that list, how will that impact your ability to fix any of these issues that are in your life, or to feel in control of the issues in your life, rather than feeling out of control, which is what we all don't want to feel. This is the first domino to knock down in order to put these things right. And whether that's for a short length of time or longer is your decision. And I want you to look at this, right? This has been in my head, and I've worked really hard to express how I want to explain this. And I want to share with you imagine this is your level of normal. And imagine this is your ruler of feeling good and your ruler of feeling not so good. So maybe this is your overdraft, if you like. So you're in your minus, you're in the red, or you're in the black. And this is your level of normal. So you take a drink, and I get it, I agree. Yes, it does make you feel good for a while. If you could stop there, that's the secret sauce, isn't it? But what happens is you want more, and all that feeling good plummets. So the next day, this plummets. So you're trading on, you're trading for today, tomorrow. And then what happens after a while is your level of normal goes down. And so you're starting off in a minus. And in order to feel good, you need more of the stuff to get to the same level of feeling good. And that's why year on year, I found I was drinking more, because as my tolerance increased and as my level of normal decreased. Okay, so there's only one way this is going. And I want to share with you my solution, okay? So you're getting this, right? It's making sense. You can see how the concept that I've worked really hard in order to overcome all of these barriers that you've got. And now I want to share with you my solution to this issue. And this is something that I worked hard with very creative people in order to get this out of my head as a solution to the problem that you're faced with. And instead of you sitting at home now thinking, right, if I stop drinking as of today and I take a drink then in a few days' time, then I failed, and then straight away the self-loathing starts. Instead of that, this is a different way of looking at things. And it's kind of like these personas are all the stages that you go through. So these ladies have been invented specifically to share with you the stages that I went through on my journey. So starting with Susie. Susie is stuck. She doesn't even know that the problems in her life are due to the alcohol that's in her glass. She's stuck on a cycle of drink and repeat, and she doesn't, the idea of cutting down even just horrifies her, because she feels like alcohol is her friend. So why would she give that up? She loves it, right? So she's stuck. Now I know that the very fact that you're watching this video is that you're not stuck anymore. You've moved on. So before you've even before you've even thought about it. I know you're not in that stage, okay? So I'm thinking most of my clients would come to me and they'd be observing, like Ollie. So maybe this has been her past and now she's in a bit of a quandary. She doesn't really want to live that life anymore, but she doesn't know anything else. So she's gone a little bit inward and she's just observing what's going on, and hopefully she's finding, positive influences that she can observe so that she can visualize what sober would look like for her. Hopefully she's being open-minded, she's joining loads of groups online about things that she's interested in. And she's filling her life, she's creating a sober life ready for her to step into. Right? So she just has to step into it. Okay. But she hasn't yet said anything about a day one or about how long she's going to quit for, or whether or not she's going to quit for good or she's going to cut down, none of that. But then eventually one day she becomes bold like Bessie, and she'll know when the time is right. If she's putting the work in, and depending on what else is going on in her life, she'll know when the time is right and she'll become bold like Bessie. And Bessie's taken action. She's decided that, today is her day one. She's going to do this. And now at this stage, we've all met Bessie. We've probably all been Bessie. And by using willpower alone, I think you tend to just get stuck here, right? So sometimes you can function not drinking on your own as long as you don't see anyone or the word party or celebration or anything like that is mentioned. As long as everybody else just stays well back, you can do it, right? And that's one way of doing it, but it's not sustainable and you can't do it for very long, right? So what I encourage you to do is to move on and become like Elsie. And Elsie's engaged in sober life. She's going to the party, she's trying the alcohol-free alternatives, and she's having the difficult conversations with her friends. She's maybe came out a little bit on Facebook and she said how many days she is, and she might have had a few knocks, but she's really surprised and happy with how much support and encouragement she's had as well. People have surprised her with that, okay? And it's inspired and it's pushed her forward. She's starting to help the newbies, right? She's starting to say, oh, you just keep going, keep going. She can hear herself giving advice. And she's engaging, right? She's engaging in sober life. And she's maybe coming up to Christmas, or she could be even thinking, right, look, I'm okay now because of lockdown, but once lockdown is taken away, how will I cope back in, the real world, if you like? So if that resonates with you, I think you're somewhere here, but there might be activities that, these ladies could show you or could teach you that you've maybe skipped. So if you feel like you're a little bit not sure, this would be a brilliant activity to go all the way back through and just pick up anything that you might have missed. And then ultimately, this is where we all want to become. It's like Riley and become rebalanced, where alcohol isn't as significant in our lives. So other people might drink it, but it doesn't matter to you. It's almost like having olives in a party where you don't eat olives, you don't even notice the olives, or it doesn't bother you. You're not bothered at all, really. And the problem then is nobody believes you. Although the people in your life think that surely it can't be true, but it is actually. So what have I got for you? What have I got for you to show you all these 5 ladies? I've explained about them, but now what happens now? Okay. Well, what I've got for you is I've got community and coaching. So I've got a Facebook page, another Facebook page for my paid for members. Okay. And in there, I turn up live twice a week on a Monday and a Friday. And I'm also going to be bringing in a Q&A session as well. Ad hoc. And the thing is, if you think about it, you're getting access to me all the time, because if you post a question in there, I'm going to be on it and I'm going to be answering it, and everybody in there is going to get the benefit of that. Okay, so it's really, really useful if it's something that you're wanting to explore and you really want to do this now. I valued it at that price because I charge £50 per hour now for my coaching. And actually, I'm going to be turning up twice a week. So it's pretty much £100 a week value, but I've priced it there just for the purpose of this. And what it gives you, the reason why the community in that way is so important is because it means that you have other influences in your life. So ideally, you're not just being influenced by the people who are around you. So I'm guessing that your friends or family might all still drink. And if you're the only one, sometimes that makes it really difficult for you. But if you can just have access to other people and just have other people's points of view, or just being influenced. I think it's Tony Robbins. He says, doesn't he, that you are the product of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. So this is my solution to that. By you being and spending time in the community and in the membership in the program, it's giving you access to spending time with other people who have a different outlook on life. I'm also giving you the audio and accountability, which is all of the program will be put onto audio files, so you can listen when you're out and about. You don't have to be sat at a computer screen, so that suits a lot of people who want to be out walking. And it also encourages you, gives you something to do, doesn't it? Often we'll find ourselves with all this time and we don't know what quite to do with the time, but by popping them in your ears and getting outside in the fresh air, you're doing something positive. And there's 5 stages, so at any time you can see where you're at. You can see exactly where you are in the program, and that in itself helps to motivate you and keep you inspired and keep you moving forward. And it's up to you how long it takes you to get through the program. I think in the first section there's about 13 or 14, 15 maybe activities, and that's called Project You. So that's the first section, and then in each of these 5 stages there's 5 activities, and it's the ladies being walked through the process themselves. You take on the role of sober coach, and you get to find out their case studies and what's come up for them when they've put themselves through the program. And then the education and empowerment, and I love this, right? Because I just feel like Riley here is sat right over here now with our positive people. She's done her online training, she's completed the tasks, she's worked towards our goal, she's got a sense of achievement and pride, and she just feels successful. She feels successful, and that is so powerful, right? Because once you have that sense of pride and that sense of achievement, it snowballs in other areas. And my vision is for you to, this is when you start your new life, right? When you get to this stage and you say, right, what do I want to do? What is it that I want to do? And it's so exciting. It's so exciting. Isn't it awesome? It is. But can you see how it would help you? You can see how it's designed to help you. So at the top, we've got the community and coaching. I'm just smiling because I just love it. I love it. Community and coaching, audio, and you've got your education and empowerment. So all of that, grand total, £891. And for that, you're getting 2 hours coaching a week. You're getting the audio files to support you when you're on the move. And you get access to the program that took me 2 years to develop, okay? Your health's going to improve, your relationships are going to improve, your career is going to improve. So that would be worth it, right? If that's all we did, if we just fixed your health, or we just fixed your relationship, or we just fixed your career for £891, that would be worth it, wouldn't it, right? But I'm not going to charge you that. I'm not going to charge you that, okay? I am going to give you all of this, right? Only for £47 per month. And there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. Now that is for the price. That's the same price as 5 bottles of wine. So I'm asking you to give up a bottle of wine a week, okay? In order to put yourself through something so positive that's going to change your life. Now, if this is an issue for you, I'm offering for you to invest in yourself, and all those worries will be gone. All you need to now worry about is how much time you can spend in this program. And I can help you with that. I can help you with all of that. But all I need you to do is I want you to go all in. This guy went all in and he had a plan. He followed a plan. This guy did not follow a plan. So I'm asking you to join me and follow a plan and sign up to the monthly membership.